Consider this, evolving Pokemon based on their highest contest condition: cool, beauty, cute, smart, tough.
Well, yes. We're always talking about Pokemon types, but no one ever thinks about the contest conditions. Even I never really gave them much thought. Feebas is a very special Pokemon in that it evolves on level up, but only if it has its beauty stat maxed out. It's a classic ugly duckling store. Now, most Pokemon games don't have contests, and thus don't have contest conditions, so from Gen 5 onwards, they made it so that Feebas can evolve when it's traded holding a Prism scale, which is fine, but kinda lame that they couldn't just find a way to continue using the contest stats. It was suggested I make Pokemon that evolve with each condition, but I think it would be a fun challenge to make Feebas specifically evolve using the other 4 conditions it doesn't otherwise have a use for. So let's go. Now, have you guys ever actually trained a Feebas into a Milotic by doing the beauty condition method? I've only ever done it once, and I remember being so mesmerized that such a Pokemon could be in my game. Mind you, this was back in like 2009, so it wasn't normal to just have easy access to pretty much any Pokemon you wanted. You had to work for the special ones. My main goal for these evolutions is that Feebas will need to evolve into some other kind of sea creature, but I'm not strictly needing them to be fish. You'll see, it gets weird. The first evolution will be its cool evolution, and what cooler sea creature to use than a frickin' swordfish? This thing's awesome. It has a sword on its face. Something that really excites me is that these evolutions don't need to be pretty or beautiful. That's Milotic's thing. So I can have this guy kinda look ugly. Don't bother me, we can be twins. I did some basic sketching of the silhouette as I normally do, although I filled in the facial features a little earlier than I normally do. Just repeating myself. I want the posing to be slightly dynamic as well, which is why I have it kinda angling its body away from the viewer, i.e. you. I am bringing a few of Milotic's features in, mainly its eyebrows. This is because I want the evolutions to look like they could reasonably evolve from Feebas and not look out of the place when lined up with Milotic. Feebas has these sort of fangs, so I've put them into this evolution. My reference swordfish has these big long fins that extend from below its face, and various dorsal fins along the end of the body. The main star of the show is going to be this giant sail that runs along the top of the head and body. This thing is stretching far and wide. How does this fish not flop around the ocean? I can tell you for free that if it were me, I'd be spinning out of control like a torpedo or something. The color scheme is Milotic, but red. I want the primary color I use to represent the condition that it evolves from. Milotic kind of follows this trend, but I think once I make my evolutions, it will hopefully reinforce that. Now for the next condition, we have cuteness. It's hard to find an objectively cute sea creature, especially when you have animals like the blobfish garnering a cult following of fans. I also just personally struggle to find many fish that cute. I'm not a fish hater, I swear. It's just something I've never really felt cuteness towards, I guess. Perhaps a Popeye goldfish could work. I used to think those were cute when I was a kid, but I'm also thinking pufferfish. I think I can make that look cute. People also like friendly, round Pokemon. I bring you this feel fandom. Hisui and Voltorb is also proof of this theory I'm crafting. I tried out one style of pufferfish, but it was looking kinda wrong, so I tried again, and really I'm just having a hard time drawing a circle today. It's feeling downright impossible, dang. Eventually I bit the bullet and just copy pasted a circle from the internet. Before you tell me to use a circle tool, I need to hold your hand while I tell you this. I don't have one. It's the one thing I don't like about Paint Tool Sci. I don't have a circle tool, it creases me. This face is looking especially terrifying. It's the uncanniness, I think, perhaps because I'm not making a beauty Pokemon, so it just looks a bit out of place. Once I worked on the body a little, I went back and gave it googly eyes. It's that Popeye goldfish mentality, I just can't get enough of it. For its Milotic adjacent features, I give it some fierce brows, and also the tail follows a similar pattern. It's kinda hard to incorporate the scale design since this Pokemon just has one body being orb, so I've gone down the route of having the design design feature just wrap around its whole body. Other details are some spikes, a pufferfish essential, and also some visible round scales. The colors are various shades of pink, which makes the most sense to me because cuteness. Now for the Clevolution. This one is weird. If there's one aquatic friend I would label as being smart, clever, knowledgeable, it would be an octopus. Apparently they have the same mental function as like a 3-year-old human, which is crazy. That's like the age when you start talking and being a person, somewhat. I'm trying to remember being 3 years old, and all I can recall is the time I stapled my thumbs together, so I guess there's still a ways to go at that age. Regardless, octopuses are very smart, and thus Clever Feebas will turn into one. Also yes, I said octopuses. Didn't realize that was the actual plural because my whole life I've been told it's octopi, and I guess that might also be correct, but I've since learned that I guess it's technically not correct because of the word deriving from Greek and not Latin. I have heard octopodes be used before, which a lot of people will say, but honestly, I feel like we're only just saying these fancy plurals to sound smart and for no other reason, so I'm just gonna stick with octopuses. As you can see, I gave it some goggles because nothing says intelligence like a pair of spectacles. Everyone knows that if you wear glasses, you're automatically smart. I don't make the rules, I'm simply a follower. A sheep, if you will. I'm feeling the most confident about this sketch. I do like the other two, but perhaps the complex biology of an octopus just allows for a more dynamic character art. I'm vibing. I know there must be 8 tentacles or tennis balls or tortellini, and I've only drawn 7, but like the 8th one is just behind it. I don't know what else to tell you. The final detail to add are the suction cups, which take the form of these imperfect barnacles. Partly because I think it helps it stand out from the other octopus Pokemon out there, but also because I think it's just slightly easier to draw consistently. I also allowed room for the scale design to come through, and I actually did give it a mohawk. This kind of makes it look like an engineer from the steampunk era, at the same time as giving it a visual consistency across every other evolution. Now for the tough evolution. Naturally, I turned to the shark. It's quintessential tough fish. I can't think of a scarier fish to encounter in the wild. Not that I swim in the ocean randomly. Unfortunately, I just couldn't come up with a strong enough design, no pun intended. It was really just looking like a regular shark, and sure, I probably could have made it so that it had a few crazy details that made it look more aligned with the others, and I did start doing that at the tail, but once I got to the face, it just wasn't it. This was not good. I'm doing something else. So now we have a manta ray, a surprisingly strong creature, to be honest. Move over, Mantine. Your time in the limelight is over, unless it already was. I can't think of another ray Pokemon right now. I drew the same silhouette from my reference picture, but it really gave me a good foundation to work on. I remembered back a few months ago I tried to make a mega evolution for Mantine, which didn't work at all, so I'm happy just to give the ray another shot here. The trickiest thing with this design is trying to visualize how its patterns and scales would look when they're folded around the fins in this pose. It's a really tricky silhouette to work with, but honestly, a good practice for whenever I get around to doing another silhouette challenge. The Miloticism I've given this Pokemon are its long lashes. They look quite stunning, but also, I hope, threatening. I finished up the finer details and then went to the color, which is going to be using yellow and golden tones. Now that I have completed the final evolution, it's time to take a look at all of Feebas's new aunts and uncles. First up, it's Haydotic, the wicked Pokemon, and a water type. They're all pure water type, so I'm just gonna skip that part for each guy. It has the hustle ability and the competitive ability, but again, all of them have competitive for their second abilities, so I'm just gonna skip that part. It evolves from Feebas upon level up with max coolness. Haydotic is strikingly cool. It swims in swift straight lines, which makes it easy for prey to avoid. Haydotic live in cold rivers. They glow red when swimming upstream, outspeeding all other Pokemon. Nextly, we have the cute Archotic, the adorable Pokemon. It has the cute charm ability, and it evolves from Feebas upon level up with max cuteness. Archotic can flatten their scales to become perfectly round. They have no practical reason for doing this. Archotic are said to be the cutest of all Pokemon. Their charm is so powerful that Pokemon around it tend to fall in love, revealing itself from a barrage branch of Coral, it is the clever Hippotic, the cunning Pokemon. It has the ability Clear Body and evolves from Feebas upon level up with max cleverness. Hippotic are said to be the smartest of all Pokemon. They have millions of color-changing skin cells that are used for camouflage. Hippotic live in all kinds of fresh waterscapes. Their camouflaging abilities allow them to adapt in many different environments. And leading the battle, it's the tough Sparrotic, the vigorous Pokemon. It has the ability Huge Power and evolves from Feebas upon level up with max toughness. Sparrotic are the warriors of the seas. They face battle without fear and either emerge victorious or die trying. Sparrotic lay flat on the floors of lakes and use their golden glowing scales to draw in Pokemon to fight. So there we have it. Feebas has a lovely family of 5. Would you like to see this done again with other Pokemon? Let me know in the comments below. This is a really cool idea. Thank you so much for suggesting it. Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe. I put out new videos every single Fakemon Friday or Saturday if you live in Mirage Island, just like this guy. And of course, a round of applause and cheers abound for our channel members. You all have max contest appeal. Now, are you as clever as this guy?